Kill it and restart.
No, we fix it and we continue onward.
Okay, you guys should be able to hear us now. Please.
Yeah.
Dave committed a cardinal sin of the internet. He updated something. I expected it to still work.
Yeah. Curse you, Sparko Cam.
So let's start this over again.
In the Book of Grudges.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds.
I'm Nerdarchy Dave.
Nathan Nerdarch.
Nerdarchy Ted.
Score. All right, so we are now actually working more or less.
So apologize for the moments of without sound, and thank you to our awesome fans in the chat for pointing out that we had no sound.
Yo, dumbasses, we can't hear anything.
Well, you check everything. You're like, the mic's working. The camera says we've got sound. Everything says we've got sound.
Except for the actual Hangout itself.
Yes.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Never update. So I was just saying that we had Danny Bell on. We had met him when we were out in LA, and we crashed his party. And apparently he's an author, and he's written some books. Well, he's got his second book. He's just finishing up. The first one's out. And, oh, damn, I don't remember the name of the book. But anyway.
Check out the live chat. Watch that to find out exactly what the name of the book's called.
Yeah, Google Danny Bell. It's in there somewhere. Something black. I think the word black's in there somewhere.
All right, well, the many jokes that could be made off of that. Why don't you continue on with your story, sir?
It was a good book. I enjoyed it. It was very anticlimactic. No, not the book. My statement. No, it was actually really good. First time author, you're like, what can you expect? Now the downside is I listened to it while I was doing other things, so it wasn't like 100% paying attention. But
the first time you listen to a book, you really need to commit more to it.
Yeah, well, I don't have time to do that. So I listened to it when I could, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It's fun. It's a fun concept. The main character has this power where she can go into fictional places through either books or TV.
Nice.
But she got depressed when she realized that these are kind of like real people. To them, they're real. To her, they're real. And how horrible books are, especially to the characters around the main characters.
Yeah, if you're not the main character, your life expectancy isn't that high.
Yeah, it's really bad. So she started doing small things to help these people. Well, apparently there's an organization that frowns upon that because you're mucking with stuff.
Right.
So all in all, it was pretty good. Somewhere's in there, he does sneak in a D&D monster, and it turns out she has some other powers and stuff, and these other people have powers. And it was a good read. I should say. I think it would have been better if I read it because I would have absorbed it better.
Right. I'll have to look into that.
Who's got time for that? Yeah, so it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I've had a lot going on this week, and I've really needed to focus. Actually, the last couple of weeks, work has been tough. So when I need to focus on work, I find that listening to audiobooks actually keeps me in my seat and working. So I've actually pulled out the Codex Alera again.
How many times have you listened to that one?
Oh, many. I get my money out of audiobooks, so.
Yeah, I've done the Dresden Files at least 4 times with on audio, and I've read them all once. And Codex Alera twice, I think.
Kevin Burke would have been a good time for Drow Sign Language. And also, that's what you get when you trust Hangouts. Actually, it wasn't Hangouts' fault, I don't think. I think it's because we updated the software we use that allows us to use the camera and stream it through there. It tricks the camera and computer into thinking it's a webcam, and it works pretty good. So, but we should have probably did a little more testing beforehand.
I'm blaming Dave.
Usually.
Sure, sounds good.
Unfortunately, I am our techno wizard, and it does not say much for us at all.
Well, you'd think that an update would not change your settings. And that would be appropriate, I think, for an update to keep your settings exactly how they are.
Now, most of the time, updates want to set things back to default.
No, I think it actually changed how the settings interacted with the software, to be honest with you. Because when I put it on the piece that said you should be drawing from SparkoCam for your audio, it didn't work. I had to actually put it somewhere else to make it work.
Wow. All right. So it is the first week of a month. So we've got a game to announce. We got a winner for a giveaway. For those of you who happened to be here last week, we did get a response from our Gleam winner. So we will get in touch with him. He has selected yours truly as the DM for him and his friends. I have to get in touch with him and get that all set up. So once that lines up happening, I can let you guys know whether it's going to be recorded or whether it's not.
I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I really got a kick out of Aminir's comment here. Update always changes your settings because raisins.
Because raisins. Okay, then.
We actually have a couple things to announce, I guess. I mean, the 27th, I believe me and Nate will be pilgrimaging to Virginia to the Think Geek HQ, and we're going to run a game of Dungeons and Dragons for the Think Geek folks. And I have to check back, but our friend Seth Pulowski, the IP attorney, and also one of the creative minds behind, well, actually him and his wife Kelly are the creative minds behind Of Dice and Men, the movie. I've invited them to that game as well. We've got a yes so far. It'd be cool if we can get John Cincinnati on there, but I know he works remotely, so he's like on the other side of the country. But there's a rumor that the Lexicon is happening the week before in Reading, PA. So he might be in town. So maybe we can get him on too. That would be into the game. That'd be great. And then a couple more people from Think Geek, and it should be fun.
Nice.
And you're going to be running that game?
I am. I want to run a Vampires Ball.
Yeah, so I have to think of a character for that.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but that's what I want to do. Mike Gould, give me an adventure, please. I need an out of the box encounter with a Vampires ball, and the players aren't supposed to fight the vampires.
But it might happen. Some players
like polymorph dragon that shows up.
Oh, I might totally rip off like a lot of that stuff from Dresden Files, because it was really good. It was really good. I have to put my own spin on it somehow, but I think it would be cool to have like other powerful beings there as guests as well that are like kind of like, yeah, they don't really care what the vampires do.
And hopefully one of the players will show up in the masquerade of a really cheesy vampire.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to do a really poorly done straw.
Yeah. Like, you're dressed as a vampire. No, I'm dressed as a cheesy vampire. But it could be fun.
Yeah, I'm sad that I'm going to miss that one.
Is Stride going to be there? I don't think so. We're not going to mess with Ravenloft at all. Out of the box procession is vampire related. I'll have to actually take a look at that for ideas, because I will be fishing around the interwebs for ideas. I imagine I might actually get out the keyboard and do some typing tonight and figure out. I was even thinking about doing it in D&D Beyond.
Setting up a campaign.
Yeah, well, you can do this nifty thing where if you use the tags right, and when you put monsters in, you can mouse over them and you get the hover card with the information. So that's kind of cool, I thought. So that should be fun. That's the 27th, and it won't be streamed on Nerdarchy, I don't think. Like, we could do it, but I think we're just going to stream it to Think Geek and to their Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. That's good enough.
Yes, people will be able to find it.
Yeah, I'll just share it out so you guys will be able to go hang out and let them know you came from Nerdarchy.
So I guess you guys are heading down that way, then that's going to leave me to man the forts here.
Yeah, it's going to be all you, man.
I have to solo the live chat. I've never done that.
Just the Friday one.
Just the Friday.
You guys will be back for Saturday?
Yeah,
that's what we're thinking.
It's not too far. It's only a couple-hour trip.
Yeah, we're thinking maybe go down Thursday night and then come back after the game Friday night. There's two of us, so one of us can nap and one of us can drive, and we'll work it out.
There you go.
And if we get into a horrific car accident, like 2/3 of Nerdarchy will just be wiped out. You will be the last Nerdarchy standing. You're like, excellent, just as I planned.
That'd be interesting. Pray for safe car ride, guys.
That's like, hey, don't throw all this in my lap.
We'll be all on you, Ted, to carry on the legacy.
Well, there was the the equal chance during the the major drive down to Florida and back with Nate and I.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Michael. It'll be a lot of spawns, and only like a few will actually be vampires.
Oh, and he says an illithid was one of the vampires are rivals with the vampire, and I think one of them is controlled by an illithid. It's a conclave of vampire families, but one is dominated by an illithid. That's pretty cool.
Oh, the out of the box.
Yeah, maybe part of the adventure is us trying to figure out while we're there and everybody's gathered who is actually controlled by the illithid. Like, we know some other presence is in charge. We need to figure out who, though, so we don't just indiscriminately start a war with all the vampires.
No, just start a war. It's good.
It's a one shot. Who cares?
I was thinking of running in Frosthaven. Although now that you mention it, I do want to put some iconic things there, like maybe an illithid, maybe a beholder, but instead
Beholder showing up would be great.
But instead of being going with that theme, I'll do something else with it, and they'll just be guests, and the players will be able to interact with them. I'm envisioning
if you do it, the beholder's gonna have a bow tie.
I was going to do a cloak. I
figured Dave was going to do top hat and
monocle,
decals. Everyone's got a monocle.
They're actually for focusing their eye rays.
Yeah.
Double range.
Yeah.
It
gives them sniper.
I can go for a monocle and top hat.
Well, you said you like putting hats on your monsters.
I know.
To humanize them. So I was like,
it's how you identify them as NPCs that they can talk to. Without the hat, there's no way I know. But I might do it different. I'm going to do a cloak this time. With maybe with not a cloak, a cape.
Oh, it would be great if the cape made it look like he's got a body, but it's just an empty cape.
Yeah,
it's like a beholder head.
It probably, basically, it'll be like that. It'll have the big collar.
Yeah, and he could have
ridiculous Ming the Merciless.
The little floaty eye minion that's his butler that introduces him and says all his great things.
Oh yeah, the gazer familiar.
Yeah,
gazer.
That's what I couldn't remember what they're called. I wanted to call them eye bites, and I'm like, that's not what they are.
At some point, they takes the cloak off to hang it up, and a bunch of those little things come out and grab it with their mouth.
That'll be great. Just introducing all the characters in this would be a fun time.
Well, that's what I think. I would want it to be a role play heavy session with social interaction, some exploration, maybe skill challenges and stuff like that. I do have to talk to the guys. I think he can be like, will the players you give me be receptive to this, or are they going to just get TPK'd? I mean, we can go either way with it. I'm fine, but just let me know so I can at least make it last at least a little bit. Be like 15 minutes later, and you guys are dead.
And everybody is dead. That is the last one of you.
What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? Man, there's only 35 people watching. I thought there was more for all the chat going on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of talkative people going.
They're going crazy in there. So is anybody playing any games this weekend? I don't think I am, right? No games.
No games.
Yeah. But I play like 3 a week at a minimum. So.
Yeah, you play plenty of games during the week. I'm playing my first session of my Hold to the Mordanes, which is like my classic D&D. I'm doing that tonight, and it's going to be recorded, but it's not going to be live, so it'll be put up later, similar to how Ted and Dave's games have been put up. And that's going to be this evening. So I'm excited. I've been typing and planning, which is not something we normally do, but I decided, you know what?
Since they're paying, you should write stuff down.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes. I feel really bad. I'm like, oh, I didn't do a map. I'm just going to have to do really good descriptions. I'll have to do a map for next time.
No. Go to Pyromancer.
Oh, yeah. That was the real
Pyromancer.com. I say we're no sponsor.
Yeah.
Dungeon Painter Studios.
I'm gonna have Pyromancer. I'm going to have to go to that.
It's really easy to use. I like it. We've used it in the past.
I have as well. I'm a fan of that stuff.
Maybe I can whip it up before the game tonight.
And I believe they have a free and a paid version for it. So, but even the paid version is like $15. So not a big deal.
So we have a gameplay to announce. We have a winner to announce. We have a so we say an open call kind of thing to announce for the project.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
Yeah, we need people that can do stuff. Gotcha.
Nate knows.
All right.
So
you know too. You just don't know based on his cryptic talking in my edition.
So we got that, and we have a question.
Okay, what's the question?
The one lazy guy from Australia, so you can only have one. You guys excited for Xanathar's Guide to Everything? What's that? What are you guys hoping to see other than what's been released so far? I don't really know, like, because there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be in it, but I definitely want to be surprised by something.
Yeah, I want to see something new. I don't want everything that's in there to be, okay, well, we fixed all this stuff that was in, UA.
Yeah, we're going to regurgitate UA on you, and here's a grung. Have a good day, sir.
And remember, we gave you the turtle for free.
You have to buy the turtle.
Oh,
You had to buy the turtle.
oh,
We bought the turtle.
we bought it. I didn't know. I just got handed it. So someone else bought it for me. Yeah, so I'm okay with seeing most of the stuff like fleshed out and good, but it would be nice for a few extra bits that they're not telling you.
Yeah,
That'll be a surprise.
yeah, maybe a monster or a different archetype. But there's also the room for them to test things through the Unearthed Arcana play tests and go, well, we took all the data from these things, but we made this new thing based off of that. So
Exactly.
I'm hoping for maybe a little bit of that.
So things not just out of the UAs as they were, but maybe stripped and taken and moved someplace else.
Yeah, like
Well, not so much that like they build it, but like they take the feedback based off of the things that they've given out and build something new entirely built on top of that feedback.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, well, you guys didn't like this, so we're scrapping that project, and based off of that, we're going to build something completely new, completely different. Voila.
so we've been talking with the PR people from Wizards of the Coast and Mike Merles about having him on the show. So it seems like it's going to be a thing that's going to happen in the relatively near future. So that'll be really cool. We might have to put a gag order on Mike Cool though in the chat. He's been rather aggressive towards Mike Merles in the past. We're gonna have to calm him down.
Oh, we love Mike.
We do love Mike, but Mike can be rabid. So,
See, I was leaving it vague as
Passionate.
to which Mike I was referring to.
oh, there you
You
go.
can be very passionate.
Yeah, Mike Gould says that it's all UA, and I can imagine an angry face. I am glad the chat goes away. It's all right, brother. We love you anyway.
Comrade Straw masquerading as with a beholder mask.
No, dude, it'll be like a gnome in the beholder. It's actually a machine.
Oh yeah, like a floating apparatus.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
the Iron Beholder. Well, I mean, they kind of did something similar to that in Acquisitions Inc. They made this like tunneling thing that was a beholder, or made it out of the beholder, and they actually had the cool for the game. So they had it made so that it was actually there. I don't know. I don't actually watch Acquisitions Inc., so I don't know everything. I'm just vaguely aware of it. I've only checked in from time to time. Mike's out of control, man. I can't wait to go to Canada, man. We gotta hang out.
I've never been. I think I would like to go.
Yeah, he basically lives in some weird pocket dimension in Canada. From the way I've heard him describe it, like it's like hellish ice storms and I don't know,
And bears.
and deserts at other times. I don't remember exactly.
Can we invite him here then, rather than us go to that?
No, it'd be like an adventure.
Yeah, we have to survive.
Yeah, we have to be gear and stuff.
We have to survive, and the reward is Mike Gould runs the game for us.
And then when they question us at the border, we'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna go visit our friend in such a place," and they're like, "Oh yeah, you need all this stuff. In fact, buy some more
Yeah.
at the shop."
Oh man, that would be fun. It's Canada is definitely on the Nerdarchy world tour once we get around to it.
Yeah, because I mean we're not too far from the border, comparatively speaking, to like
That
someone in
technically
Florida.
Canada's part of the world. So
No, forget that part.
Like
That's
we already
really-
visited North America.
Nerdarchy takes on Canada.
all right, so Dave is no longer in suspense. We've crossed enough time frame that I'm going to put this out there. Nerdarchy is always working on things behind the scenes, stuff that you guys don't know about. And one of these said things is going to require artwork. So we are looking for artists who wish to be a part of this project. We're not looking for people to donate artwork and that's the end of it. We are looking for someone to do this as a paid thing. if you think your stuff is up to snuff and you would like to submit stuff to us to, for your work to be considered, nerdarchy@gmail.com, put artist submission in the subject line, in the header, and we will take a look at it, and we're going to go from there. So yes.
Yeah, and if you have not just you, but if you have a relationship with an artist that who you think might be interested, put them in contact with us.
Yes. Thank you, Nate.
I don't actually know how many artists we've got. So
I know there's some artists out there that we've spoken to and chatted with before. I know there's a couple people who have actually done stuff and sent things to us based off of stuff that we've talked about and stuff that we've done. So there it is.
So a couple things. Storm Giants are common where Mike lives, Mythic Canada. That's the...
But Storm Giants are the good ones. That's okay.
The Monkey Spikes. Well, they can be, but giants are giants. Mr. Darklight. Lots of people play in Canada. I played in an all-Canadian D&D group for a few months.
TV Timmy.
Yes.
Zero says, I'm going to be honest, my work is not up to snuff. Yeah, I don't think either is mine. I'm rusty.
That's why we're not doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
I can't draw a straight line, so.
The Macabre Mother Lover. Quick question, Dave. Favorite rock band? You mentioned old rock constantly. I don't know if it's not really rock, but Pantera would probably be my go-to. And Pantera, White Zombie, that kind of stuff is kind of what I'm into.
Totally out of left field, but sure.
Does the art have to be good?
Yeah, I was just going to answer that. Yes, it does.
That would be the point, I think, is to have good art.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely have some different things we've been working on. I mean, if you go over to the website, you can see we started with a store over there for 3D printed minis and miniature terrain. With our friend, we're working with our friend from Arcadia Workshop, Scott. He does some cool stuff over there.
He also made this doodad for us.
He did make that doodad for us. It's a lot of it's a lot of Fat Dragon games, and there's some other ones that he's got the licenses for as well.
I'm a super fan of the ampersand, and he just sent that to us to have yet another awesome decoration for the set.
The Storm Giants are always apologizing here. They're really polite Storm Giants. So sorry. I did not mean to step on your house. Oh, stray lightning bolt. So sorry.
Yeah, I have a coworker that goes hang out in Canada, and he says, "Yeah, I'm too rough speech for them. I gotta always apologize." And then shocked and I'm just like, "Oh wow, yeah, I could imagine."
He's a little abrasive. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's a bit abrasive. So he gets a lot of shocked faces from his friends.
All right, so I'm going to move on to my next order of business. We had said beginning of last month that we're giving away Gods and Goddesses.
The special edition?
Jetpack 7, the Kickstarter exclusive edition with the sparkly stuff on the cover and no scanner code on the back. And that is going to Super Ducky. So I'm going to guess by the email address, which I won't give out, Jesse Spawn, something along those lines. But you signed up with the name Super Ducky. So I will be in contact with you later this afternoon. And voila.
So I guess let us know if you want us to open it up and deface it. Probably better if we didn't, because of the sparklies might come off in the mail. But we do. I think we have something around here we can sign and send
we do
out.
have cards that we can sign and send out as well.
But optional.
Yep.
Defacing is optional.
As always. So then do we want to move on to roll call? And while they're doing that, we can list the people in the game?
Sure. Sounds like an excellent idea.
Yeah, we can do
All right. So it's that halfway mark. Sound off. Let us know where you're tuning in, listening in from. And we have Dave gaming with the fans this month. So his game will be October 22nd at 2 p.m. Players are Kyle Murphy, Nick, Mike Hartnett, James McGuire. The alternates are Matt Banks, Liz, Christian Oliver, Brandon B., Edward Brown, and Noah Black. So there you go.
Score.
That's on my birthday.
Woohoo!
So maybe we can sing you happy birthday.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
We can't afford that song.
Not online. Not online.
It's 2 days before my anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations
as well. So we got Doug in Cleveland. That's staff editor Doug. We've got let's see, son of a monkey's uncle.
Until we actually get the new title.
We've got Columbus, Georgia in the house with DSDJKK. We got Arkansas in the house with Techno 65535. We got Missouri in the house with Nathan. We got Montana in the house with Chris. Massachusetts with Commodore 2261. We got Texas in the house at Numenera. You see how I do that, right? You have a ridiculous screen name, I'm going to say it all. We got Mike Gold is in Nova Scotia, Canada.
Except his comrade, but
so he lives in some weird valley, and he's got it listed there. New Brunswick, Canada is Ben.
That'd be Annapolis Valley.
We've got Regilio in Utah. We got Quebec in the house with Mr. Darklight. We've got Drala, Canada in the house with Uncle Peter. I'm still going to say it wrong. We got DM Steve in Saskatchewan. We got Minnesota in the house with Solution. Let's see. We got more. What do we got? South Carolina with the Macabre Mother Lover. We've got Davenport in the house with Skull. And west of Toronto with Donna. Welcome all. Welcome all. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We greatly appreciate it on this fine Saturday afternoon or possibly morning or evening, wherever you may be in the world.
So no one tuning in from Feyron or Marvel
Yeah,
Cities.
we're pretty North American today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay. It happens. It's all right. Well, tell me how many people. Oh, there it goes. Score. We got a bunch.
Again, thanks for joining us on this lovely Saturday.
So yeah, while we're here, you got questions, feel free to throw them out there. Next week we have 2 games on the channel that are coming up, and then we have the Saber Dice game on Wednesday. So Monday is the official start of our Marvel Phase Rip game with Professor Bill.
You got session 0 and session half. And
yeah.
Finally moving on to session 1.
Yeah, we kind of drug it out a little bit. We had one player that couldn't start until the following week, so we're like, and we still had some things to hammer out. And we're also stepping up the production on this one. So War Eagle is stepping in, and he's going to be doing some stuff, and it looks freaking fantastic. So that should be a lot of fun. It's going to be an interactive game. So the judge will be handing out karma and give you ways to spend it. And when there's mooks in the house, you guys get to play the mooks. So bring your percentile dice. So that is 8 p.m. Eastern time on the channel. And then, as always, Tuesdays at 7 p.m., we do the Sister Scarlet Hood. So both games are a ton of fun. And then we have Saber Dice Season 1. I think we're coming up on Session 9.
Yeah.
So we're getting close. We're getting close to the climax of Season 1. So you can see that on the Saber Dice Twitch channel, or you can catch the replay on the Saber Dice YouTube channel.
Link should be down below.
Yeah, we also kind of switch things up in the links as well for you guys to make it easier. We separated the gameplays out, so if you just want gameplays, they're in their own section.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when I looked at that today. I'm like, this has been changed.
It has been. I've infiltrated. I'm the one
that usually grabs all the links and stuff. And I had set stuff up last night, and then was gonna mess around with it this morning. And I'm like, that Google Doc has been changed.
Well, yeah, but also the 30 or the 40,000 giveaway was still in there too. So it's like, we don't need this anymore. And let's move this around. I just come in and wreck stuff. And also, we've been playing around over on the website. Nate has been working hard over there. And, then occasionally I go in and mess over there too and break it, and then he fixes it.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we'll have a nice, consistent theme of the website very soon.
Yeah, so we're working on that. Unfortunately, we are the webmasters, and we're not very good at it. So that's another thing. One of the things we're looking to do too is probably in the near future invest more in the website and get that looking nice and cleaned up, because we want it to be the best.
Absolutely.
We already actually get a lot of views over there, a lot of traffic. I was surprised that we are not far off from what Gnome Stew does, and they've been around for a very long time.
Yeah, I just checked out their website. It looks really nice. And they've got some cool articles over there.
They got a lot of cool articles, yeah. Why do they always want to pit us against each other? Like, it's not good. It's like death battle.
What are they trying
for the one true D20?
Yeah,
who wins?
Macabre Mother Lover.
Do I get to use science and acid?
Science, acid. Any tips on making an NPCs to aid a two-person party? Yeah, don't do it. Come on, guys. Don't you watch our videos? Like, we hate that. Like, you can do it if you want in your game, and it's fine. But, like, we're just not big fans of it. Am I all right to speak
you
for
guys
all of us?
are super not big fans of it.
Yeah.
I think it's acceptable, but don't worry about filling a niche in the party. Just, like, in between combats, if they get beat up, maybe they find a passing merchant who happens to have some healing potions and they'll sell. Or, you can always put treasures and other things that can assist them over their shortcomings of only having a two-person party. You can also design the adventure more for two people rather than trying to run them through Horde of the Dragon Queen. I mean, you better make them Gestalt characters or something if you're going to run through Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Plan the adventure for the characters and players that you have, and provide loot to enable them to succeed. And that's
so. Sofa King, my next character is going to be Nathan Riggins. You will not. I'm sad to say you will not be the first one to do that. That happened probably about 15 years ago already, or longer. But nice try.
And recently, I played myself in a modern game. So, well, not so recently. What's that?
Yeah,
like a while ago.
It's been over a year.
Okay, yeah.
Once upon a time. Zarif Gaming, I want to see Dave's character cook more pigeon. Once we finally have the finale for the season, and if we all survive it, he will probably definitely be cooking up some pigeons and rats. There's no need to waste perfectly good meat.
Are you a roadkill connoisseur there? If it's been killed in less than 5 hours, it's good to go.
It's kind of one of Jogo's things. He doesn't like to waste stuff, and there's think of
the children.
Think of the children. That's it. Numenera, question: what type of dragon would you say your fellow nerdarchs are? I would say Ted is I think Ted's like a copper dragon.
That's where I would go.
Isn't that the punny one? Yeah. Nate, I don't know. Nate's a silver.
Yeah.
Is that the science dragon? Is there a science dragon?
It's like the neutral good, very, very headspace, if I remember correctly.
You're a headspace. They don't want to say, but like there's a fucking dragon. Red dragon.
Like good old Smaug.
Just wants to lay around on a pile of treasure.
Yeah, why not?
Every once in a while, go out, kill some people because they didn't kill him. Come back, eat a dwarf. Or maybe you'd have dwarf minions.
No. Slaves, maybe, not minions.
Oh man, just reading the comments. So now we established what dragons we are. Still would like a question to the Bardlock. Well, I saw it up there and I kind of read over it, but I didn't really understand the question. It was like something about giving disadvantage on concentration checks because of what is it, the mind power that the great old one gets, telepathy. And I got distracted.
Within the radius or whatever.
I'm not sure. I'd have to find it. It's lost forever. It's gone. Oh. No more.
It is all but dissociating electrons in the wind.
Yeah. Hey, just copy and paste it and put it back in the chat again. We'll find it. Awoken.
Draco Lich.
What about it? Oh, is any of us a Draco Lich? I don't think any of us are Draco Liches.
Nope.
We did the mirror test before we started. Everyone was breathing. So it's good to go.
Like Nate of all of us really digs the Lich, but I don't think he's evil enough to go down the road to Lichdom.
Oh, snap. Dave is the Demogorgon.
No, there's. Never mind.
Are you gonna go Elhoon?
Oh, the Illithid Lich. Yeah, what do they
Not
do?
Elhoon.
The hippie druid elf lich.
Yes.
Yeah, there's always that.
Hey, question. Here it is. Nathan, I don't know if you copy and pasted it for us or the original asker of the question. Can a bard force disadvantage on concentration if they're also a warlock with awakened mind? I would say no. Because, I mean, they don't have any abilities that give disadvantage anyway. I mean, you could, like maybe cutting words or something. Like if that affects saving throws, you could then do that. But off the top of my head, I don't remember if it does.
Yeah.
No, the concentration check's an ability check, though, right?
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay, it's a saving throw. All right.
Yeah, that's why. So you would have to have something that would give you.
Does Mage Slayer do that feat?
Mage Slayer, it does, but that's like completely different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're already talking about being a bard warlock.
So I mean, if you're talking about, you're creating an NPC to use against the party, well then you don't need to stick to powers that are there. You can make up make up stuff. I mean, that's what's the DM. It's what the DM's job is. But if you're talking about can the player do it to an NPC, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing in that ability that gives you like the power to actually intrude in others' minds. It just gives you the ability to talk. You would have as much ability to cause them to have disadvantage on their saving throw as if you were to yell at them, essentially. Instead of your voice, you use your mind. That would be my take on it. But again, in your game, you can run it any way you like. So that's the great thing about the hobby. Michael was kind of doing it as like the idea that you could actually make a charisma check contested by the target's will.
Well, kind of like a warlock intimidation.
Yeah, I think so. Like maybe like an intimidate check. But even that being said, if you frighten someone, you still don't necessarily give them disadvantage. Like the frightened condition is completely different.
You know what makes them make constitution saves?
Smacking them.
Eldritch Blast. They make a lot of Constitution saves.
Yeah, like hit them 4 times with an Eldritch Blast.
They gotta roll a 3 or something sometime. Rolling 4 dice. That's like disadvantage.
That's how Nate smacks them with his mind. It's called Eldritch Blast.
Force damage.
There was another warlock question.
So with that in mind, if you said you didn't want to do damage to them, but you still wanted the effect to have that, I could say that you choose to not do force damage to them and they need to make their concentration saves, as if you just blasted them with Eldritch Blast. And you could just say that, skin-wise, it's you screwing with their head because of your telepathic powers, but in the game, you're still using the mechanic that would make them make the save.
Now, if it was a Constitution ability check as opposed to a saving throw, then it's a whole nother ball of wax because you could be any kind of warlock, and as long as you have Hex, you could give disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's not an ability check. It's a saving throw, I'm fairly certain. So, Aminir, question. Pack of the Tome Warlock always allows you to telepathically communicate with other creatures, and they will understand you. If you're a Kenku, would it still sound like random noises or normal talk?
Well, that's not Pact of the Tome. That's the
great old one.
Pact of the Old One.
Yeah.
But
I'm just reading what's here.
Yeah. So the great old one does
gives you the telepathy.
Yeah, telepathy.
I would say that you're thinking, so you could create a voice.
I would say it's up to
Kenku can't really.
Here's the thing: the Kenku are cursed.
Yeah.
And the question is, do they think the way they talk? Yeah, like it kind of comes down to what was that movie Firefox when it was like the Russian jet that they stole, or the Russians designed this jet and it basically worked off of your thoughts, but it was Russian, so you had to think in Russian in order to operate it. And I'm always curious about that with people that speak multiple languages, like how do they Like, how do they think? You know, do you think in one language and talk another? You have to like translate it instantly, or does it kind of just like come right over? Because I only speak one language, so I don't really know.
Depends on how fluent you are.
I imagine so. But that being said, that doesn't take into account the fact that gods have cursed you. So you would have to define that with your DM, how that curse affects you and the Kenku. It might be a workaround, or it might just be as fun to have random noises you project in other people's heads.
Yeah, and then how would you say your name? If your name is some kind of squeak badook sound.
Well, you would still say that, but you say it telepathically.
Well, we've got a party pooper. Mike Gold says that Sage Advice already addressed Kenku telepathy. They think like everyone else. You know, I don't think that would be the case. But hey, you know, make it however you'd like.
Well, that's what it comes down to. In your game, you can do it however you want.
Touching back on the the whole multiple languages thing, while I am not bilingual or any of that kind of stuff, I do know a lot of words in other languages, and I hear them and I just know them. So the way I would look at it as like you just like you have a word has a definition, that word has a definition, and part of that definition is, oh, well, it's this in another language. So that's the way my brain interprets it.
So Zerif Gaming asks, what do you do as a player when you are a role-playing session that your character's arc and spotlight on your character is too much? And what can you do to get other players more involved?
Bring them into the role-playing.
Yeah, interact with them.
You know, say like, oh, Fred, what is your opinion on this? Or, what do you think we should do next? Or do you agree with this plan? Or
Sorry, I'm still thinking about the language thing. I hear English and then have to interpret it in my brain. But as far as that question, yeah, it is a matter of you as the player can try and involve it. And like the DM should probably try and find things that can work into what the other characters would be interested. Like it's a bad idea to design a scenario where the whole session or several sessions, the other characters are just going to sit around and watch you. Like there should be ways for them to help you. And if it was designed even better, there should be ways where that you actually require their assistance and need them to help you.
So I every once in a while have moments or scenes that are maybe not character exclusive, but are character focused. And when that happens, I try to make that scene be good and interesting for everyone that's at the table, because everyone should be caring about everyone's story that's going on. But I try to make it not take too long so that we can get back to the overall story and that everyone can be back involved.
And if any way possible, I feel like the GM should try and intertwine things at least a little bit so that you get less of that going on.
Right.
Even if the players didn't intend it that way, they don't have control of everything else going on, and things can just kind of work out that way. Like it kind of speaks to like this idea of providence, that the universe is a bigger place, and sometimes just things happen beyond your control.
Yeah, and if it's not too big of a crazy event for the characters to get together and intertwine their stories, well, then what's the chance that something going along with the villain scheme also has included another part of their backstory? For the game I'm playing tonight, just on how much they've given me, I've got several players linked on the antagonist side that they're going to find out as time goes on, but a lot of things that's happened to them already is their session 0 and their backstory is going to be involved and linked together, and it's kind of like part of the game is showing them a little bit of that at a time to kind of progress the story forward. So you can do it by kind of spread it. The DM's going to spread that out or include multiple characters in it,
or just bribe the GM like Pathfinder says. Yeah, I mean, and that's fun, like what you're talking about, because then that gives these aha moments further in the game, and hopefully it will help to like bind the characters together a little more deeper. One should hope for, and not for nothing, like actually designing characters to be connected when you start the game goes a long way too, and makes life easier. Like I'm so done with and over the idea that everyone has to come up with this thing in a vacuum, and then the GM has to figure out how to make it work. I'm like, no,
and then
don't be here.
And then 4 hours later, the final guy gets to start playing.
Yeah,
he's in the story now.
No, let's make characters that want to adventure and then do it together, and play the game together, because it's a cooperative game that we play together.
And that's because if you still want that feel, you can have session 0 be that kind of like backstory of everybody kind of figuring out how everybody's together or how they're interlinked. And then sessions 1 can be the start of the adventure, where everybody is in the same place, possibly interested in the same things.
Now,
or you can direct them towards that kind of thing through events. Like if goblins attack a town, if everybody's an adventurer, they're going to want to figure out why the goblins are attacking a town. So they're going to all decide to deal with that.
Now, if you have an unlimited amount of time and can work with your players and meet them all individually and go through role-playing and quests and lead them from a session 0 to a session 1 so that everyone is at the right place at the right time for a reason, then by all means, and I've taken part in a game that this happened, and the GM is really well skilled, really passionate about what he does, but not every GM has the ability to do that. I have no problem saying, oh, you guys already know each other, you've traveled together before, or you guys figure out how you know each other, but this is where the game starts. You know each other.
Get there.
Even if you have all the time in the world like that, don't use all the time. Do charity or something like that. Save yourself some headaches and just start them in the area.
Well, Johnny really enjoyed that.
So he was doing it for his own pleasure as well. So
Sofa King, my fiance Mandy, is talking smack on D&D players right now. Can y'all give her a shout out to tell her to get over it? Well, and it would make my day. LOL. Well, Sofa King, I would think actually you win, because apparently Mandy is marrying a D&D player, so you got her good. Bam!
So I'll give you a shout out. Hey, Mandy.
There you go. Get over it. Play. Get some funny shaped dice and play. Does she like other games better, or she just doesn't believe in it? She doesn't like tabletop games. My wife doesn't tabletop game either. I mean, I've gotten her to play like 2 sessions or something over the past 20-something years. Something.
Well, I mean, by all accounts, she enjoyed it a little bit, when you guys were doing a family game. I mean, it's not like she was begging to play, but she enjoyed it.
What is the least amount of players you DM'd for Gillifrey? Well, that's easy. 1.
2. I've never gamed solo as a DM.
We've definitely did a lot when I was kids, and like it was like one other player.
I think 2 or 3.
Done 2 a bunch of times.
Anti-gaming. Well, that's a bit more of a hurdle to cross there. If someone is being anti-gaming. Well, everybody likes their hobbies and likes the things that they do, so it's kind of one of those things. Like everybody's got stuff they do to cool off and chill out. And
I'm going to plead the fifth on that comment. Then.
Yeah, I mean, as long as she doesn't stop you from doing what you like doing, so supportive of that. Otherwise, you might need to move on. Not really
harsh.
Not really. You just decide. It's like anything in life. You decide what's important to you and keep those things and get rid of the stuff that's not as important.
I did have somebody break off with their fiance because they didn't want to have the dog, and he was like, "Oh well, then you're not going to have me." I'm like, "Well, dang,
that's harsh."
Well, you really love that dog. I mean, you can tell.
Really,
clearly, you love that dog.
Well, she clearly did not like dogs, so
yeah.
Maybe she was allergic or something. I don't know.
I think it was just she didn't want him. The dog.
She's like, how do I get rid of this dude? I know, the dog.
The dog. That's the way.
That's the line.
He'll break up. I've got it. He'll break up with me now because he'll keep the dog.
Yeah. So, any more famous characters going to be D&D-fied soon? It's always a strong possibility. A lot of times we do them kind of related to what's going on in media. So usually we're like, hey, did this movie drop? So let's do this character. Or, when we get suggestions, but like the suggestions have to be things that we're kind of into. If you're like, this game or this anime, and at least two of us aren't into the thing, we're probably not going to do it. Like we could do the research and figure it out, but it just feels disingenuine for us to do that. Like we'd rather talk about characters we like and we're into.
There's got to be passion involved, and
the Dragoon was a stretch since Dave doesn't know what Final Fantasy is.
Well, he knows what it is. He just never played it.
That's like not even knowing it.
He knew of it.
There you
go. So, and even like when we do them, sometimes we just do a version, right? Like the version we're familiar with. Like a lot of times if we do superheroes and it's DC, we're like, me and Ted are like, we've watched Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and we've seen like movies, and that's what we're basing it off of, which may be completely different than the comic books.
I might have a handful of, Batman and a couple other titles that I've gotten from here or there, but even if I've read any of them, it's like more than 20 years ago, possibly 30. So like any knowledge that I've had there it's clearly gone. And Batman has had so many different iterations and versions that it's like, sorry.
Yeah, it's like if you're familiar with the live action version, or you're familiar with like the Lego, or you're familiar with the animated series.
Well, there's a Batman animated series, there's a Batman Beyond,
which is really good. Definitely not a kid show, I don't think, though. But
All right, so so we've been given one. We've given one that they kind of want us to do right now, and another one that I would like to put on the list, and that's Beetlejuice by a Macabre Mother Lover. That's a good one.
I'm saving the book back here. Ted just keeps wanting to write on it.
He wants to write all over the face of the book. Let's see. Question. Have you guys ever played in Planescape? My first campaign I DM'd, which I'm still DMing, was Planescape, and I'm amazed at how awesome all the lore and cool stuff there is to it. And not to mention the awesome art by Dr. Lizzie. Probably butchering the frick out of his name.
I played Planescape Torment, back when that game came out, and that was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of the Planescape lore engrossed in that game. So it's not going to hold up to today's graphics, but it was definitely a fun game, and many things that you could do with it there. So well worth checking out.
And there is a newer one with better graphics for Torment, and it uses Numenera rules. So that was pretty cool. I played some of that. And I played a little bit of Planescape, and I've also played a lot of Torment.
I feel like I've definitely done some. Yeah, we definitely did Planescape. Like we had to pick the factions and do all that, but that was back in AD&D, and that was a long time ago. We did a 5e meat grinder with SR2 Joker, Andrew Knapp. It was Planescape, but it was kind of like more like Planescape themed, I guess, flavored.
Well, it was more like this is a gauntlet. You just have to survive. So like I don't think there's any real Planescape lore brought into it.
Did we do Iron Man? Because they said Tony Stark D&Di's could be cool. I have to go back and look because we've done a bunch of them. Nightwing was another suggestion, but we did Batman, and like Nightwing's gonna be what, Batman Light? Like our
Batman with less levels.
Think yeah, we're gonna do it. Be like, think Batman, but less money and less cool.
It's like playing a non-epic level game where you don't have all the money and all the skills. I don't think we've answered this from Gallifrey. We've got a question about playing. He's got 2 characters so far. He's having trouble finding more players. Local comic shop shut down, and finding players is very difficult. He's considering. He doesn't want to do Craigslist, so he wants advice.
Well, Dave likes using the white van method.
If ever you need someone in your life and you're finding it difficult to get them there, white panel van. Got you covered.
Nerdarchy does not condone white panel van capturing. But Meetup. Meetup is a good place, I think, to get people. At least you can get an idea of how many people in the area even are interested.
Like Craigslist. What about Backpage?
I'm familiar with Backpage. I don't know
what that is.
It's just another Craigslist.
Okay.
With a different name. Not as good, I think.
So, looking online, going to game shops that might be a little bit further away and say, hey, I'm looking for players. I know here that I can go to several different game shops within a half hour. So I know that there's enough coverage. And if you go there and you're like, hey, do you have a bulletin board? Can I put up, a little thing of looking for gamers? Ask around.
Well, I mean, it says it doesn't have a local comic shop, so
maybe. I said travel further.
Oh, travel further. Well, yeah, if there's like a drought of players, physical players in the area, other players might be willing to travel farther to play because they're having issues finding groups.
Exactly.
And especially if you're interested in DMing, that's going to be
an easier draw. If you're running, then players might be willing to travel because they don't want to run.
We were also asked a question about our basement games. So last week they went up. This weekend they're going up. There's a bit of a problem with my game. You'll notice the numbers skip if you're paying attention. We go from 27 to 29 because 28 is the lost episode. Half of it got deleted. It's just missing. So I'm not going to put up a half a session. So it's just gone. And I don't know, maybe at some point we should do a recap video. And also it's we would have did the recap in the beginning of the next session and talked about it, more than whatever we did, except for we didn't know it was missing at the time. It's when we went back later through the videos, and oh, this is missing. We also, your game went up, my game's up this weekend. Prior to that, or either prior or in between that, the Star Wars game went up. I think in between, the Star Wars game went up. So they're all basement games, and we're finding October to be a bit challenging as well with other stuff going on.
Less challenging than August, but
yeah.
Oh, hey, Arcania.
What's up, Scott?
Scott is on.
Woo!
So with your game, Dave, how long do you think that one's going to be? How many more sessions do you think? You got an end goal? Do people have an end goal in mind, or?
Are you asking, or is there a question?
No, I'm asking. I'm curious.
We've got.
I was asked actually. Is your game still running, and how long do you think?
We've got about another year, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think the goal with the two games that me and Ted are running is to go to 20th level.
Okay, so you just got a while still.
And they're you guys are 13th now, or did I upgrade you to 14th?
14th. You guys.
Oh, that's the same thing in 10th. We're at 14th.
Yeah, we're trying to stay on pace with each other.
You guys are going to go to 15th level real soon.
Yeah.
If not, level up before next session. It'll be after debating. And Griffin Gaff is currently in the middle of the siege.
That's the perfect time to level up. I think I need one more.
Yeah, we are fighting.
I think I need. I'm getting close to that 10th level wizard ability.
Nice.
So I mean that's my thing of okay, well, what do I have left? And I'm at that point where it's challenging. I know what's going to happen through here for the next couple of sessions, and I know where things are going to be up here, but it's that middle ground that I'm little torn on.
Yeah. So for me, I know what the end confrontation is.
Yeah, ditto.
and actually, both of them are. It's pretty obvious. We're not really. Well, unless we do a plot twist at the end or something. But yours is obviously to take on Narcitus. That would be the end. Whether it's his physical avatar on the prime material plane, or we have to go all the way to hell and forgive more of the best, as the case may be, and stick it to him there. With my game, there's this Vargarian Empyreon that you guys encountered, and I'm guessing you guys are thinking that he's going to be the guy you guys are going to have to take on.
Yeah, I got to go beat him up in a spaceship.
Yes, pretty much.
Makes me think of Warhammer 40K, Chaos Knights or something.
Yeah,
mechanical Chaos Knights.
But you never know. There might be a plot twist. I got one kind of percolating in my brain right now. As I say plot twist, I'm oh, what if I did?
Yeah. There's some ideas, but I didn't feel I haven't given them too much thought in that regards.
Yeah, you have to see if the game makes it there first, I suppose. But this is the longest running game consistently we've run, both in advancing in levels and just I want to say time-wise as well. I feel like we would cycle out much faster.
And for me at least, definitely the number of sessions. I've never had a game that has this many sessions.
30 some sessions.
33.
Yeah, so I'm a few behind at 29. Well, I might have another game, so 29. I think I have 30 is in the can still. So yeah, I'm a couple behind you because there was definitely a couple games that you ran that I wasn't here for where vice versa, there's only been one game that you weren't here for.
Right, but I mean, my game started also prior to yours.
Oh, so I'm lagging. Son, I will catch you. I will catch you.
And you guys probably think this is silly, but I have my game planned out the 20th level, like the story arcs and everything like that. And I wrote it down just so I could see later
How close you are.
how screwed up the players took everything and like what direction I got inspired to go. But so I wrote it down as kind of like oh, this is where I thought I was thinking about going, and then I'm going to see how far I've gone off
Off the rails.
off the rails.
Well, fellas, it is past that time. We threw in a couple extra minutes for the silence, which I don't think that was all. It was less than a minute of us figuring out, hey, what's going on? Oh, wait a minute. We might have talked for a minute or two before. They're like, we can't read your lips.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to put like a pinned comment of like, hey, sound picks up at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
At the starting point, the link. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Maybe. Remember that. All right, guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate it. So until next time,
Stay nerdy.